So in today's video, I'm going to go over one simple trick that not only changed my life significantly, but of those of prominent figures such as Kobe Bryant, Serena Williams, and most notably James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits. And in the last section of this video, I'm going to go over simple and easy ways you can incorporate these ideas into your life. I started my self-improvement journey a little over a year ago, and I was reflecting on how I was able to make such significant changes into my life without it feeling like I put any effort into it. And I realized that one of the most important things I did was I adopted a routine that let the good habits shine and the bad ones push out of the picture. One of my favorite quotes is, "People do not decide their futures, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures." Our lives up to this point have been heavily influenced by our daily routines and the habits within them. And this is true regardless on if you're even aware of this happening or aware of the habits that are playing a significant role in your life. How I see the difference between a good and a bad habit is in the same way that I look at instant and delayed gratification. So instant gratification gives you the reward straight away without having to put any real effort in, whereas delayed gratification, you put in the work first before you get the reward. Instant gratification gives you short-term pleasure in exchange for long-term suffering, and delayed gratification gives you short-term suffering in exchange for long-term pleasure. Another way that I see the difference is by looking at how high the ceiling is for that particular habit. If the ceiling is very low and can be reached almost instantaneously, it's most likely a bad habit, as opposed to habits classed as delayed gratification, which have much higher and really limitless ceilings. You can only get so good at doom scrolling, so the ceiling is very low. Whereas with working out, you can always get stronger, so the ceiling is very high and again, very limitless. So now you're probably wondering how you can build a daily routine which lets the good habits shine. Really, there's many ways you can go about this, but ultimately you need to find out two things. One, what kind of person do you want to be? And two, what good and bad habits do you currently have? In my own experience, I found self-reflection to help me tremendously and was a key part in establishing exactly the kind of person that I want to be. And once I did that, I wrote it down and I keep it with me for reference. Finding out who you want to be is useful as it gives you a sense of direction, which helps you stay on track. And if you think about it this way, how can you know which direction to go when you don't even know the destination? If you've ever heard that famous saying, "What would Jesus do?" This is basically the same thing, except you're doing it with the person that you want to become. Now, regarding the second point, this will involve auditing your current habits. The easiest way I've found to go about this is to get two pieces of paper and on one piece write, what habits do I have that will compound into good results in the future? And on the other piece of paper write, what habits do I have that will compound into bad results in the future? This part is extremely easy using the distinctions that I gave earlier in the video between a good and a bad habit. Once you've done these two things, it will make it very clear as to which habits are worth keeping in your routine and which ones need to be discarded and forgotten. And once you've found a routine that suits you and the kind of person you want to be, you should really see changes within a month. However, any night and day changes will honestly take at least 6 months. From time to time, you'll have days where you can't get everything done to the standard you expect of yourself. However, it's not about becoming the kind of person that gets results. It's about becoming the kind of person that shows up every day, especially on the bad days. And the bad days add up, and a sum of bad days will take you a lot further than if you were to only show up on the good days. Think of it like building a house. Let's say on a good day, you can lay 10 bricks, and on a bad day, you only lay one brick. Even if you only lay one brick a day, the house will still eventually get built, albeit a bit slower, as opposed to if you sacked off laying bricks entirely just because you couldn't have a good day of laying 10 bricks.